Hey there, you me and DC fans, and welcome if you are new. I am the stepson of Krypton,
And I'm Antis.
and today we're going to do a quick video. One because we want to try to bring you some shorter content. Two, my camera's fucking up, so I had to use my old backup. Um, Been a day
As you
of
should.
technical difficulties,
It
right?
has.
So today we are going to talk about Hulk. Smash or no smash? We're going to let that marinate for a second while we take a little quick commercial break.
Team
Mantis,
She-Hulk, I would definitely smash. Yeah,
as She-Hulk?
from the comics.
From the
From the
okay,
comics.
okay.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get into it in 3, 4, 5. All right, guys. So today, when we talk about Hulk, smash or no smash, get your minds out of the gutter. We're not talking about that yet. What we're talking about is sticking with live action. Our favorite Hulk in live action. What have we liked the best? What is, regardless of maybe you are like, hey, this adheres most to the comics, this adhere, whatever the case may be, right? What the fuck are you laughing at?
I just saw the title of the video. Sorry.
Oh, Smush Smush?
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry.
Smush Smush. Yeah, so sorry. Yeah.
I just saw. This is completely nothing to do with this. I saw the video, the title. It made me. Damn South Park, man.
Yes. I'll cut that in. Trust me. That'll give us a great cut in. That'll give us our first cut in. Smash! Obviously, we've seen the Hulk several times throughout live action. From 1977, where he was played by Lou Ferrigno in the TV series, all the way up to She-Hulk and that Abomination, which I've not watched all of She-Hulk. I saw a few episodes and I was done.
That's. I think I got through 1.5 episodes and I couldn't do it.
Tasted that. Num, eat it up. Go play okay, 3, 2, 1. You know I'm the hottest. You ain't never gotta heat me up.
So, unfortunate.
But here's the thing, and this is where we want your guys' input, right? So we are going to give our opinions, but as some of the people in the comments have shown, you guys don't really like our opinions. What I want is your opinion. What was your favorite Hulk? Now, maybe, depending on your age, maybe you weren't introduced to 2003 Eric Bana's Hulk. Maybe your first Hulk is the 2008 Incredible Hulk played by Edward Norton. What is your favorite Hulk? What have you liked? Maybe it's not comic book accurate. That's fine. I just want to know what your favorite Hulk is. Now, for me,
it didn't have to be. Again, we've talked about. I've said this before. Like, just because it's comic book accurate doesn't mean it's good, or just because it came from the comics doesn't mean it's good. There's only been one person that's played the Hulk as the Hulk, and that's Lou Ferrigno. Everyone else has just voiced the Hulk or the mumbled the Hulk. I guess the most audible part of the Hulk that you've heard, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Cal, is Mark Ruffalo when he was doing the whole puny god stuff, or when he was talking to Thor and Ragnarok. So, I mean, I guess when you say who played the best Hulk, are you asking the question, who played the best Bruce Banner?
I'm not as much worried about who played Bruce Banner. We'll get into that in a minute. The version of the Hulk, right? Now, we also have to remember the dating of things, right? So Lou Ferrigno played Hulk in 1977. Eric Bana played Hulk in 2003 in the movie just titled Hulk. Edward Norton played Hulk in 2008 in The Incredible Hulk. And then in 2012, Mark Ruffalo picked him up as the Hulk in the Avengers movie, which was tied to technically Edward Norton's, but I feel like they're two completely different characters.
I'm
two
with you on that.
Versions of Hulk. Now, for me, guys, if we're talking about Hulk just as a character, I think 2003 Eric Bana's Hulk was the for me the best, because what I loved about it was, now again, we got to think back to if you were alive in 2003 watching movies and you were enough to where you could know, because Mantis is a big CG guy. Okay, they spent like $1 million every like 20 seconds of CG, especially when he battled the goddamn poodles and other dogs and all this stuff with the CG. But the CG for what it was at the time was cutting edge. But that Hulk to me felt like the most accurate of the Hulk because as he got angrier, he got bigger. He had actually 3 stages in that movie, right? And I feel like you get to see that anger because there's the scene in there that I'll have playing. You'll probably cut in here in a minute where he fights the tanks. Where like basically the one tank, shot him and he taken a hit or at least flack from a hit, and he throws that tank half a mile plus away, right? And he bends the fucking the gun on the tank, and he rips the one tank in half and all stuff. I felt like, and again, you see him get madder and he gets bigger and bigger, whereas I don't think in any other iteration of live action Hulk we've seen that, right? And I like that. It's more comic book accurate. It's more accurate to the characters. He's fueled by rage. So obviously as he gets madder, he gets stronger. He got bigger. I like that. I'm sorry. I do. Hate me for it if you will. And now there were a lot of people that considered the original or the 2003 Hulk a bomb. It did a $60 million opening with a $260 million total. For 2003, I don't consider that a bomb. They did. And a lot of people, I say a lot, there were a good chunk. Now, I have been pulling articles from the earliest. Obviously, fucking Google became a thing in like 2007. Like I've been pulling articles from as early as I can find on that, and there are people who defend it as well as there are people who hate on it, right? So I feel like it was kind of split, but there were a lot of hate on the movie in the beginning because they didn't understand the character.
Well, there's a lot of other good stuff going on along with that movie. Like I will say, and this is taking it back, but like one of the greatest 80s hotties of all time is in this movie.
Jennifer Connelly?
Jennifer Connelly's in this movie.
Swing, swing, tentpole. She's a babe.
And she, again, no one's ever accused Jennifer Connelly of being the greatest actress of all time, but if you were from the 80s and maybe being this like, if you were a teen in the 80s, this is now in your 30s or 40s when the Hulk came out in 2003, right? So you know who she is. This maybe is kind of a draw for those, dads with 12-year-olds that are going to see comic book movies, kind of a resurgence, because this was shortly thereafter of Spider-Man and this and not. So, I mean, and you said this when you were talking earlier about it, like the CGI is just, I'm just not a fan of it in this movie. Again, they spent a lot of it on it, but it wasn't, as surprising as it is, it's not as bad as like Wonder Woman 84. It's crazy the space in between these two movies and the difference in that. And maybe it is the money that they spent on it. I don't know, but we were previously talking about this, like Eric Bana, like I completely forgot that he was in Troy. And even Jennifer Connelly was in this movie too, but if I guess kind of, who is your favorite Hulk? Because you asked this to the commenters at the beginning of this video. Hulk wise, who plays the Hulk the best? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just because it's the whole CG thing for me. I think Lou Ferrigno is the best quote unquote Hulk. However, the best movie, and it's very contrasty, I guess, and maybe that's the whole point of the Hulk, making this scientist, like this guy that is not big at all, become this massive creature through radiation, whatever. It is the Edward Norton version of him, because it's such a contrast in the characters, because even Mark Ruffalo, he's not a small guy particularly. Like he's not skinny and scrawny. Like Edward Norton's kind of scrawny, like
he is.
There's this huge contrast between the character of him and the Hulk. Like there's just this big contrast. So that's something that I took away from that movie. But I guess What's the one? Is that the one with the red the mutant Hulk? Not the red mutant.
The
not
Abomination.
That's Abomination. Yes.
Now, we will see Red Hulk in Captain America 4. We already know Harrison Ford's character. He will play Red Hulk. But he is what Mantis is referring to as Abomination. So
Yeah.
we know that there's the character in there, gets the super soldier formula, goes up against Hulk, does not fare well, and then they continue to do experiments on him. He becomes Abomination that Hulk has to fight. Now, here's my thing. Mantis is right. Like, if we're talking about Bruce Banner and we're talking about story, I think the Edward Norton Hulk movie does better. And CG
maybe
too,
not by
so
much.
CG too, but here's the thing: I love the 2003 Hulk. It's probably one of my favorites just because I love how Hulk is done. But the story, if you've watched it once or twice, you don't need to see. Like, if I watch that movie now, I skip to the parts with the Hulk, right? Because they're awesome. The scenes are awesome, right?
Exactly.
And I love how they do Hulk, but the story is a little lackluster, and it's not where I feel like the Edward Norton story is better, and it's a little more refined, and even the graphics with the CG is a little bit better. Like, if you melded those two together, I think you'd have a great Hulk movie. Like, I need to have the graphics of 2008 Edward Norton Hulk on 2003 Edward Banner Hulk, and I need the story from 2008, but I need Hulk to be the way he was in 2003, right? Getting bigger, getting angrier, I like that. I love the way they do that, and even the fights just got to.
Nothing against Lou Ferrigno. We're in a different time here, right? It's a completely different thing. Like,
dude, love Lou Ferrigno. He did great. Again, I mean, what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, he actually played the Hulk. They did the best they could, right? You have to respect it for its time. That was 1977, right? Love Lou Ferrigno. Also, I followed him even, from his weightlifting career, and again, going up against Arnold. And if you ever watch Pumping Iron, it's great. But love Lou Ferrigno. But I love Eric Bana's Hulk. I love Edward Norton's Bruce Banner and story. I think Mark Ruffalo for me is at the bottom tier, right? Like, I don't feel like those two are connected, because when you watch Edward Norton's Hulk, there's this element of like fear and just this intensity with Hulk that you don't see even when he's going up against Black Widow, when he changes and stuff. I feel like they Disneyed it up way too much. And then he's just not a scary. Yeah. He's not a scary being. And then with She-Hulk, and even in the Avengers in Endgame, where he melds the two of them together, I feel like we've seen Hulk shrink and lose that ferocity. I mean, Hulk is a being of rage, right? I feel like we just kind of lost that in Disney-ness.
You're right. Like, at the very end, like, if we're like right now, if Hulk made a movie, I feel like they would be able to talk to him and have conversations with him, and like, we're going to watch a movie, and they'd sit down on a couch and watch a movie. Cause like, this is what you saw in Thor Ragnarok, right? Like, albeit he was the champion of that arena, but he was living in a fucking condo, man. Like, he was living the high life and he was fine with it. Like, that's not the Hulk. Like, what is happening?
So, guys, let me know if we're going to switch a little bit to DC here on this, but let me know if you're in agreement, because this is just my personal opinion. I'm not speaking for the channel. I'm not speaking out against any of our commenters or viewers. But for me, it's like when you watch a Superman where they have Doomsday and he talks and he's carrying on conversation. That's how I feel like with Hulk, right? Like, you're not supposed to be having this long, in-depth conversation. You're supposed to smash things and be this mindless brute. Now, I know people are going to say, well, in the comics, he's done this. I know that, but I'm just saying we got to take a little bit. We got to take a sliver of that, right? I need Hulk to be the powerhouse, right? Need him to be the badass, like just going in and smashing things. I don't need him having this fucking, existential crisis with Thor and kind of like debating all of this theory on personhood.
I know.
I need him smashing shit, just like Doomsday.
That's the thing.
I don't need Doomsday carrying on conversations with Superman. I need Doomsday killing things. That's what he does.
Yeah, that's what makes the character so great, is because the contrast you have between Bruce Banner, who's a genius intellect scientist that's not big, to a mindless brute that has massive strength, right? They're just two complete polar opposite type of beings, right? That's the whole thing. So when you make the Hulk, and they in Disney, when you said Disneyfied, it's so funny because like Marvel did this with Thor, like they turned him to Fat Dad Gamer, like you know what they did with the Hulk being this thing in the right run. I'm just like, this is not that. I don't know what you did to him, but it's not. You're losing this contrast, right, between Bruce Banner and the Hulk. You can't. To me, it's just. And maybe it's very subtle and moron. I say morons. Idiot moviegoers. The people who just shell out their money to go see these movies. They don't care, and clearly they didn't. I mean, people still went and saw the movie and didn't care about that, but. To me, you're losing that that's what makes it an interesting character, right? So when you take that away, now it seems like, I don't know. It seems like dumbing down the character to me.
Well, so, and this kind of like wrapping up at first my final thoughts on this, and I know there are going to be people that have disagreements or maybe grievances with what I say
Sure.
here. But what kind of did it for me was, okay, I get Hulk gets his ass handed to him by Thanos, right? And rightfully so, right? Thanos already has an Infinity Stone. He's a very strong being. He's technically half eternal, half deviant, and all that stuff. He gets his ass handed to him. But Hulk is the persona of Hulk is triggered by Bruce Banner's rage. That's what triggers it, right? Is his rage, his anger. And now all of a sudden now Hulk doesn't want to come out. Like that's again to me. And I'm not as big an avid reader of the Hulk comics as I am with a lot of other DC and even some of the Marvel properties. So again, let me know if I'm out of pocket. Like I could be wrong, but like I just feel like again that was a Disney thing of like, hey, let's dumb him down a little bit. Oh no, he doesn't want to come out because he's scared. No, Hulk was a being of rage. What happened when he gets mad and what triggered the radio. It's like, so that was kind of like a thing of like, oh yeah. And, except at the beginning of Infinity Wars, when he got his ass kicked, you never saw Hulk the rest of the movie until he went with Bruce Banner and he mixed them. I'm like, all right, that's not Hulk, right? I'm sorry. For me, I'm sticking with, if I have to go with my favorite, love you, Lou Ferrigno, but I have to go 2003 Eric Bana, Hulk. Not speaking Bruce Banner. Hulk is my favorite.
Yeah, the action sequences in that movie are quite above the rest of them for sure. And I agree with you. And I don't know. Again, I don't know all the backstory and this and that. I've said this multiple times on different videos. Just because it's in the comics doesn't mean it's great. In my opinion, if you're telling me, oh, it's canon that he does this and he starts talking and he starts being this type of character, that's fine. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm just telling you what I like better. And I like the fact that there's this dichotomy between Bruce Banner being this scrawny scientist, very high IQ person that turns into this mindless beast.
And I'm a huge fan of the way you lose control and turn into an enormous green ridge monster.
The ironic thing is, when he speaks, nobody understands him because he's so smart, other than like Tony Stark. Yes. Because he's like, finally, somebody who speaks English. But then the Hulk, nobody understands him because he just grunts in rage, right? But exactly. It's, again, like you said, it's two opposite ends of the spectrum. Now, again, I don't proclaim to know as much about the Hulk as I do a lot of other characters, right? So I'm not saying, hey, what I'm saying is it's comic book accurate and it's this, that, and the other.
Right.
It's what I know of the character, right? So feel free to let me know, and you can feel free to do it fucking respectfully, but let me know, because I'm not claiming to be an expert on this character. I'm just saying from what I know of the character, I like 2003 Eric Bana Hulk. That is my Hulk to me. Just tighten up the graphics a little bit. Like, if I watch it now, it looks like something I made versus maybe something the movie's made. Like, let's tighten up the graphics. Let's make the special effects look a little bit better.
Yeah, where's your massive check from this movie studio? Just saying.
Yeah, I might not be able to do quite as good. Because, again, Ang Lee, amazing director who directed the Hulk. And the writing, Stan Lee wrote for that movie. Again, the story,
It's funny, actually.
it's a hit or miss. Like I said, I think everybody should watch it at least once. I will say this: I've seen it enough that I know it, that I don't need to watch it. I will skip to the Hulk scenes, as I said earlier, but it's watch it at least once. It's worth a watch. But the Hulk scenes, I think, are fantastic. I love the Hulk scenes in it. So that's going to wrap it for me. Mantis, do you have anything else?
No, I think I've said my piece. So awkward silence.
Awkward silence. I'm going to end up making a graphic for that, guys. I promise. All right, guys. If you have made it with us this far, consider giving this video a like. He is going to show you where. All right, right over me. Consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss any more of our. This was just this was a spur of the moment video. We're like, dude, let's do a video on the Hulk, because one of the things was that right now there's nothing on the roster for the Hulk being in anything new.
True. Yeah.
We don't know if they're going to be in Avengers Doomsday or even in Secret Wars. We have no
You would assume,
new information. We do, but Mark Ruffalo is not cast for anything. Now, to be fair, a lot of actors for Doomsday and Secret Wars are not cast yet. But we don't know. We've not heard anything. We know that he's not in any new series. We know he's not getting a solo movie. So we were just talking about, dude, let's just do a video on this, because it is an important thing. Because I do like the Hulk as character. I'm not really thrilled on the way he's going now. So let us know, though, and if you subscribe, you can do that, and you can see these videos, and you get notifications to it when we release this insanity that we call YouTube on these topics like this, as well as comment down below, because the previous video we just did was what I hope is a fan of the channel. I want to say is a fan of the channel. I don't want to, but a commenter that they had commented down below, like, hey, I thought this would be cool if you guys would discuss this. Now, the Hulk is just kind of our own baby that we just thought about discussing, but let us know, like, down in the comments, how you feel about Hulk, which one is your favorite, and do you want us to do a more extended video and in detail on the Hulk? Because, again, while I'm not as super well-versed, I will learn. I will dig through every piece of media on the Hulk to bring you an educational video, if that's what you guys want.
There's some interesting stuff there, man. I mean, every character has got their thing. Yeah.
They do. They do. We're more than happy to bring it to you. So, Mantis, unless you have anything else.
I was gonna do an awkward silence again, but I will say, we appreciate all the follows, all the likes that we've had in the past month or two. We recently had gone over 100 subscribers, so we do thank everyone for that. And again, like Cal said, you guys interact with us in the comments, because who knows, the next video we do may be something you suggest or something that you want us to discuss. Bring it up.
And also, too, real quick, because, at the time this is running, a lot of you probably already tuned off by now. But for those of you who are staying with, we do appreciate. Like, how are you guys feeling about the format? Is it off-putting? Is there something we need to change? Let us know. We need feedback so we can bring you the best show possible, right? So let us know. Do you like the boxy us? Do you like us being fucking balls, little testicles sitting at the bottom of the corners of the screen? Like, what works best for you guys? Because, guys, we're new to this. Since we started this channel, Mantis and I had never done anything like this before. So we need your guys' help, and we do appreciate it. Like, we want, comments and suggestions. So, like, is the format not working for you? Is it a little off-putting? Am I off-putting? Because maybe I should be off-putting. I'm gaining a little bit of weight. Maybe I should be off-putting. Let us know. Because, again, we're here to bring you guys the best content possible, and the only way we can do that is hearing from you guys, right? Because we're not perfect. Well, at least I'm not going to speak for Mantis. I'm definitely not perfect.
No, definitely not. But we do appreciate it.
All right, guys. That's going to wrap it for us here on this episode of You, Me, and DC. Until next time, we will see you then.
Later.